Welcome to the Blender Barbox channel. Today we are going to model the pane that you are looking on the screen. We are going to use the basic type of techniques in Blender that are mostly used in 3D modeling purpose. So just follow through the tutorial and let's get started. So to start with the modeling process, we can use the default cube that you see here. Let me turn on the hotkeys so that you can follow. Alright, so for now I'll just delete the camera. So to start with, go to the edit mode. Now we can use the edge as a starting point. So first we will apply the bevel tool procedure. This is mostly the procedure that's used commonly in 3D modeling in Blender. So to do that, select the edges of first let's remove the top and bottom parts of this cube. Delete the faces. Okay, now we have this structure as a starting point for our pane structure. So to start with, go to the line select and then select each part of the outside part of the corners like this. Now to apply the bevel tool, press Ctrl B, then zoom out like this one until there is an overlap. So the next part is to remove this one. So go down here to the bevel tool that you see. Now it says clamp overlap. Press this one so the overlap is removed. So the next part is we need mostly the pane structure are cylindrical shaped. So to achieve that, we need to increase the segment number like this. So the more segments you add, the perfect the circle appears to be. Okay, so I'll leave it at 8 for now. So the first part is done successfully. Now we have our starting point for the pane structure. So the next part is to merge the joints, the different joints that are found in here, so that we have a clean geometry. To do that, press the M key for merge and use by distance. Okay, so it looks like our geometry is clean. Oh, the operation has not been performed because I didn't select it. So press 8 to select everything, and now press N and then merge by distance. Okay, now down here you can see it says removed 8 vertices. Now our geometry is clean. Now we can proceed to the next step. So let me first minimize the diameter of this so that it appears to be somehow thinner to achieve the look of a pane. So what I will do is select everything and then let me select maybe the faces. I'll resize this except along the Z. I'll resize it along X and Y. Okay, now this is good. So we can use this as our modeling point. Okay, so go to the edge select and then Alt and left click to select the top part. Now it's time to move this up along the Z. Not extrude, but we are just moving it to increase the length. Okay, I think this is enough. So the next thing is to model the top part of the pane. So to do that, now we are starting with the extrude process. So for extrude, press E, then for resize S, scale down a little bit like this, just a little bit. All right. Now we can also extrude along the Z, just a little bit, something like this. All right. I'm doing the top part of the pane, so extrude again along, and then scale, scaling again. Okay. Now we have this. The next thing is to extrude along the Z. Let me see how it appears. Okay, GZ, maybe something like this. Okay, this looks good. Now we can use this. So the top part is done. Now we add some different structures to make it look good. So the first thing we can do is press E to extrude along the S, and then something like this. Okay, now extrude along the Z again. Okay, extrude and then scale down. Maybe not much. Okay, extrude along the Z. I'm just trying to create some kind of structure on the top part. All right, extrude S again. All right. Okay, now extrude along the Z again. Okay, so later on we'll be doing some smooth shading and subdivision surfacing, so we need to have a clean geometry like this, and we need somehow more meshes in this region. So to close this loop, you can use the filling F, but this doesn't have some meshes on it, so the better way to do it is Control F, then go to grid fill. Now we have this space filled with multiple meshes. This will be useful later on when we do subdivision surfacing. All right, looks like the top parts modeling is done. Now we need some kind of extension here that can be used as a handle. So to do that, let me go to the front view. Let me bring this up. Now it's time to select the faces. So select multiple faces like this. Okay, press Shift Control and then press this one. Okay. I think this is enough. Now we need to resize this one, scaling along the Y in this direction, the Y axis in this instance. So press S, then Y. Now let's scale things up. Let's scaling down. Okay, this looks okay, so I'll use this one. Let me move this a little bit further. Press G along the Y, then something like this. Okay, next we can add some structure here. Control R, then move it like this. Okay, so the next thing is, let me select the top part faces, Shift Control left click. Now it's time to extrude this. Press E along the Y. Okay, now go to the line tab again. We can subdivide this. Control R. This is okay. Select the bottom part to extrude to create an extension. Now extrude this along the Z. somewhere like this. So this looks basically the handle of the top part. All right. Okay, so we can also add some kind of groove here to fashion different style of this thing. So for this, Control R, by moving your middle mouse scroller, you can add multiple intersection points like this. Okay, so let me resize this along the Z. This looks okay. I'll bring this up somewhere around here. All right, so we can still use a bevel in this case to create some kind of face meshes here. Okay, this looks good, I think. So what else can we do? Let me create okay, so here I don't need this much meshes, so I'll decrease this, I'll remove these values. So I'll just use the one with a segment 1. So now to create a groove, we can extrude this along the Shift Z, except the Z. Okay, actually it will be extrude, scaling, then Shift Z. We are scaling it along the X and Y axis, except the Z axis, to create this groove. All right. Okay, now it's looking good. Okay, let's go to the object mode and see what we have done so far. Okay, so far we have done a good job. Okay, we need to fix the bottom part also. Go to the edit mode, then I'll select the edges, then Control F, grid fill. Okay. Alright, the basic modeling part is done. Now it's time to add some post-processing to make it look good. And now there are some sharp edges, so let me select this and apply shade smooth. Okay, now it appears to be smooth, but the geometry needs to be improved here. So to fix this, let's go to the modifier, then we can use the subdivision surface to add some meshes. So let's bring this level viewport and render up to 3. Okay, now it's improving, but we can still do better. So let's go to the mesh parts and see what we have done so far. So for instance, here you can see the subdivision is affecting the shape, so let's add another loop cuts here and then bring this down. Okay, maybe here also. This will improve the structure of the pane. Maybe down here, bring this up. All right. Okay, let's check down here. Maybe it needs a little bit somewhere around here. Okay. All right. So, okay, we need to fix this thing also. Control R. Let's move this up. Okay, Control R again, and here also Control R. Let's fix this. Okay, we can also fix the extrusions here the same way. Control R if you like to improve the appearance. So I'll just do the same thing for each instance. Now you can see the model is appearing to be clean, and yeah, the extrusion appears to be clean. We can also touch something here. Okay, if you like, you can do this. Maybe here. Something like this. Alright, now let's go back and see what we have done. Now everything looks appearing better and smooth, and with a clean geometry. Down here also the grooves appear to be looking nice. Okay, overall the model is looking good. Down here, yeah, so we have done basic modeling of a pane structure like we see here, using basic Blender modeling techniques. Right, now the modeling is over. Yeah, we can also apply some shading. Let me go to the shading parts. Okay, now I'll give the top part different and the lower part another color. So for this, go to the edit mode. Let me turn on the transparent view, and I will apply for these parts. Okay, I'll use the face select mode. Okay. Okay, I'll select these parts. Let me check. Let me zoom in and see what we are doing here. Okay, press shifts and select this part also to be included. I wanna include this part also. Okay. All right. Okay, now we can apply this. Okay, so material one, this one, I'll use this default. Maybe I'll use this default material. So I'll go on into the slot one and then press assign. Okay. Let me select the top part. Let me zoom in also. Okay, press shift and select this part also. Yeah, okay. Now for this part, I'll create another slot and then new material. For this part, I'll just use a blue color. Something like this. Okay. Now press assign. Alright, let's go back to the material view. Okay. See, this looks like a pretty strong color. Maybe let me see if I can change this. Maybe some kind of light. Okay, this is better. So yeah, so it's looking good. So I'm thinking I'll make this some kind of plastic material. So maybe I'll decrease the roughness to give some kind of shine like this. Also, where am I? Let me select the other material and adjust this one also, the roughness value. Okay, now you can see it's giving a shining look. This one also, so kind of looks like a plastic material. So I guess that's all. We are done with the modeling and the shading part. So I hope you liked what you have seen in this video. We have used the basic 3D modeling tools that are mostly common in Blender, like the bevel tool and the merge tool and the extrude tool. Also, we have seen how we can use the loop cuts and the grid fill. So basically, if you use these techniques for other type of material, you can model your own objects using these techniques. So that's all for today. If you liked the video, please make sure to like and subscribe the channel. I'll see you next time with another Blender video. Thank you for watching. Take care.